a professor of political science and international affairs at American University. Thanks very much for joining us on the programme. So what more do we know about this intelligence gathered?
Well, if this is true, and we're hearing it from the American press, the German press, and other European outlets, all confirmed by unnamed officials, many who have seen it, we know quite a bit. This was a Ukrainian owned vessel registered in Poland and docked in Germany that went out with 6 members in the crew, a captain, 2 divers, 2 assistant divers, and a medic. And they carried out the operation in September of last year. That's about what we know. And now, of course, there have been all kinds of accusations that Russia was behind this, Ukraine was behind it, Poland, Britain, the recent report in the United States. And none of those theories are untrue in that we still don't know who financed this and who's behind it. I think it's likely these were Ukrainians, and I don't think it's likely the Ukrainian government paid for it. So the jury's still out on, what state may have been behind this. Many countries believe a state was behind it, and who paid for it.
One of the key questions will be, how plausible is this without the Ukrainian government knowing what was going on?
Quite plausible in the sense that it serves the Ukrainian government to have a couple of arms lengths away from various operations done in its interest. I don't think this is exactly like the Ukrainian attacks 300 kilometers inside Russia, that assassination outside Moscow, or even the bombings of the bridge from Crimea to Russia, or the other one, the Western military base in Crimea, in which it's very likely the Ukrainian government had a hand. This was, I think, more of a geopolitical target for forces that didn't want Russia to be selling oil to Germany, or a false flag operation that somebody wanted to make it look like one of these interested parties was, either victimized by or the perpetrator of it. But the idea that the Ukrainians would spend a huge amount of money for such a sophisticated operation with lots of explosions, and I think up to 45 ships in the area without their monitors turned off, as the Danes and others have reported, that seems beyond what the Ukrainians would want to spend money on, even if they were the beneficiaries of this operation.
So this was a tactical move by someone, knowing the blame would potentially point towards Moscow, or could it simply have been about slowing down those supply lines to Europe?
I think it was all about breaking the bonds, economic bonds between Russia and Germany, which were critical for this to go forward. I think whoever the perpetrator was didn't understand that with 1 million plus Ukrainian refugees arriving in Germany and such a great Ukrainian need for German weapons, that Germany was going to side with Ukraine anyway and probably wean itself of Russian gas. But the author of this thought that this needed an extra nudge. A lot of the press reporting has been saying this will severely damage German-Ukrainian relations. I don't believe that. I think Germany's in it with Ukraine for the long haul. They see this as a defense of Europe. I think the main thing at this point is, figuring out who the author is and the liabilities. This is up to $500 million worth of damage, which somebody's responsible for.
OK, William Lawrence, Professor of Political Science and International Affairs at American University. Thank you very much for joining us.